Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I keep saying his name for?
In a surprising twist, Gervonta Davis has recently made it clear that he has no interest in facing Stevenson in the near future. To make matters even more shocking, Davis also announced his plans to retire from boxing by the end of 2025, further complicating any hopes of the fight happening.
He's afraid of Shakur.
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit in boxing.
No.
Tank a liar. I mean, he's lying on. And this me being like 100% honest. Like,
this unexpected announcement has sent shockwaves through the boxing community, leaving fans, analysts, and pundits questioning the future of the sport and whether the highly anticipated clash between Davis and Stevenson will ever come to fruition. Let's break down what's been going on in the world of boxing lately and explore how these recent developments have shaped the ongoing narrative in the sport.
25 is after next year. I'm out of it.
after our second fight. You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, nothing. I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
All right, I'll go to Lamont Rose.
At a recent press conference, Gervonta Davis addressed a number of pressing issues in his career, including his future in the sport. One of the most shocking statements came when Davis revealed that he plans to retire from boxing by the end of 2025. The announcement of his potential retirement came as a huge shock to many, especially given Davis's relatively young age. Fans, analysts, and journalists alike were left to wonder what might have prompted him to make such a bold statement at this stage in his career. More surprising, though, was Davis's decision to shut down any talks of a potential fight with rising star Shakur Stevenson.
I know Tank too, and I know for a fact at the end of the day, like, he is not jumping into no fight with me. Like, that's a whole different type of atmosphere. That's not like fighting. I'm saying.
So basically, you telling me Tank's scared?
I ain't gonna say the man scared. I'm just saying for a fact.
So what
I
you
know
saying?
He not jumping in the ring with me.
Davis made it clear that he simply isn't interested in facing Stevenson anytime soon, stating that the fight holds no appeal for him. In his view, Stevenson, despite being a talented and undefeated fighter, hasn't accomplished enough to deserve a shot at him. This statement was a bitter blow for fans who had been eagerly hoping to see these two titans clash in the ring. Davis didn't mince words when explaining his decision. He claimed that Stevenson's style, while effective, lacks the kind of excitement and flair that he feels would captivate fans and elevate the spectacle of a fight. Davis also pointed out that Stevenson's relatively low profile compared to other fighters in the division meant that the fight wouldn't bring the kind of attention or revenue that a more high-profile match would. According to Davis, Stevenson's calculated technical approach to the sport doesn't resonate with boxing fans in the same way his explosive style does.
Shakur is a quick boxer, a good guy, but do you think he would engage you enough that'd make it an entertaining fight? Or if you fought him, do you feel like it would be a bad fight because you'd be chasing him all night?
You know how it would go. Everybody in this room would know how it would go. You know what I mean? But I guess it'd be good for the sport if we fight now or later.
This sentiment has left many questioning whether Gervonta Davis is avoiding a potential challenge from Stevenson, or if he is simply prioritizing other opportunities as he nears the end of his career. While some view Davis's comments as an attempt to avoid a difficult challenge, others speculate that he may be pursuing different interests outside the sport, thus signaling the twilight of his boxing journey. While Davis has made it clear he's not interested in facing Stevenson anytime soon, Shakur Stevenson is far from being idle. The young, undefeated champion champion continues to make waves in the boxing world, actively pursuing bigger and better opportunities. Stevenson, one of the brightest rising stars in the sport, has remained consistently active and is set to showcase his talent on a major supercard in February. This card will feature an epic rematch between two of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world, Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, a contest that has already generated significant buzz and anticipation in the boxing community. With Stevenson's name added to the card, the event promises to be one of the biggest and most exciting of the year.
With Turkey, Floyd was way down the list of who Shakur Stevenson should be fighting. There's Gervonta, then there's about 5 other names, and then Floyd Schofield. Shakur's looked... I'm a big fan of Shakur Stevenson, by the way, so hopefully if he's watching this, don't take this the wrong way, but Shakur's not looked his best in his last couple of fights. He hasn't. He's been critiqued. I remember he went on a kind of a tirade. He went mad at everyone who said he didn't look great. So Shakur, please don't come for me. This is just me being honest. He's not looked great. He's had his injury. I still think he's a pound for pounder. He has to prove it. Here is this young upstart who's not on his level that's called him out, and Shakur's almost laughed at the call out. Like, are you serious, dude? Like, no one's going to let you fight me. And all of a sudden, Oscar was saying, no, you're right, I'm not letting him fight you. Then Floyd, to his credit, has pushed it through. Shakur Stevenson should be levels above Floyd Schofield. Like, Shakur Stevenson should show why he is considered top 10 pound for pounder.
Stevenson's upcoming fight presents a huge opportunity for him to continue building his legacy and cementing his place as one of the elite fighters in the sport. A strong performance could significantly enhance his profile and boost his chances of securing a major bout with a superstar like Gervonta Davis. However, whether this will persuade Davis to reconsider his stance on fighting Stevenson remains uncertain. As of now, Davis appears resolute in his decision to avoid the fight, leaving Stevenson to patiently wait for another opportunity to challenge the best in the division and continue his ascent in the sport.
I'm trying to get so much out of this and get away from it. Like, I have a house on an island, y'all won't see me again type shit. Like, that's how I'm trying to beat. I'm trying to beat all this type shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be around this too much longer. I don't even want the spotlight. Y'all can have it. This can have it. Once I beat him, go ahead.
One of the key figures in this saga is Turki Alalshik. Alalshik has garnered attention for his support of rising stars in the sport, particularly Shakur Stevenson. As a key player behind the scenes, he has worked tirelessly to secure high-profile opportunities for Stevenson, aiming to fast-track the young boxer's ascent in the sport. Recently, Alalshik voiced his desire to see Stevenson face some of boxing's biggest names, starting with a fight against the talented but less experienced Floyd Schofield. This marks a significant move in Alalshik's broader vision for Stevenson's career, setting the stage for a series of marquee matchups in the coming years. His Excellency Turki Alalshik has declared that he wants to make Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. My plan for Shakur is this fight versus Floyd Schofield, then William Zepeda, and then let's see if Tank wants to be in our show.
David, he said to me, send to me 2 Ferrari to play in Saudi Arabia. I said to him, we will send to you 2 gloves if you want to play in Saudi Arabia. That's it.
Alalshik's roadmap for Stevenson's rise to the top is both ambitious and calculated. It includes a bout with Schofield, followed by a challenging showdown with the tough and dangerous William Zepeda, and ultimately, a blockbuster fight with none other than Gervonta Davis. However, despite Alalshik's plans, Davis has remained uninterested in facing Stevenson at this point in his career. Many boxing fans and analysts believe that Davis's reluctance to take on Stevenson is a case of ducking the challenge, with some questioning whether Davis is avoiding a potential threat. Gervonta Davis recently announced that he plans to retire by the end of 2025, with only 3 fights left in his career, starting in March. This statement has only fueled speculation that Davis is looking to close out his career on his own terms, rather than taking on new high-risk challenges. Fans hoping for the highly anticipated showdown between Davis and Stevenson are left feeling frustrated, as it highlights how boxing's business side, coupled with fighters' personal agendas, can prevent dream matchups from ever materializing.
If you ain't on your A game, if you ain't focused,
trying to hear that shit.
If you ain't focused, cause I know you ain't focused. It's been to the streets. It's been to the streets. I know you ain't focused. So you better tighten up. You better tighten up.
That's why I got everybody out of there. That's why I got everybody out of there. Can they see my page again?
You better tighten up.
Can they see my page now?
I'm telling you right now, you better tighten up. Cause if you don't, my mother, I'm gonna make it look like a cakewalk. That's March 1st.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Now watch.
They gonna
now watch.
As the news of Davis's retirement plans and his refusal to fight Shakur Stevenson continues to spread, the reaction from fans has been mixed and highly polarized. On one hand, there are those who fully support Davis's decision, understanding his desire to retire on his own terms. They argue that Davis has already achieved everything he set out to accomplish in boxing, having become a multiple-time world champion and consistently entertaining fans with his knockout power and thrilling performances. Many believe Davis has earned the right to step away from the sport and pursue other endeavors, whether they be outside the ring or within the world of entertainment. After all, Davis has been involved in some of the most exciting and action-packed fights of the past few years, from his rivalry with Leo Santa Cruz to his dominant victories over fighters like Ryan Garcia. His place in the sport is already cemented, and there are those who feel it's time for him to call it a career.
I wanted to fight Lomachenko. What'd he say? No. I wanted to fight Kambosos. What'd he say? No. I wanted to fight Frank Martin. He fake signed up. Said no. I wanted to fight Pitbull Cruz. He said no. Like, I can go down the list, and there's more.
What makes you so confident about fighting Tank? Because a lot of people may say that you don't have the experience. And on your side, you can also say that people are scared to fight you. But a lot of people like to say that you haven't fought a lot of the top fighters.
But how can I not have the experience if I'm more accomplished than this dude? I'm a 3-weight world champion and actually really a world champion. Tank had two belts his whole career, right?
On the other hand, a significant portion of fans strongly believe that Gervonta Davis is ducking Shakur Stevenson. These fans see Davis's refusal to face Stevenson as a clear indication that he's avoiding a dangerous and hungry challenger who has the potential to give him a serious challenge. Critics argue that by refusing to fight Stevenson, Davis is avoiding one of the sport's most skilled and technically gifted young fighters. And some even suggest that Davis is more concerned with protecting his undefeated record than taking on the best competition available in his division.
Number one, Tank.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, number one, Tank. Me and Tank is the best fight. I think that's the fight. You could name 15 other fighters, but there's one fight that truthfully need to happen in
What's
boxing.
stopping that fight?
One of the most common criticisms of Davis is that he's not willing to fight Stevenson because he doesn't find him exciting enough. This sentiment has sparked intense debate within the boxing community. Some fans agree, suggesting that Stevenson's more methodical defensive style might not make for the fireworks that Davis is known for in the ring. However, others argue that Stevenson's exceptional technical skill, ring IQ, and his ability to outbox opponents make him one of the most dangerous and well-rounded fighters in the sport today. Despite these differing opinions, what's undeniable is that Davis's disinterest in Stevenson has left a bitter taste in the mouths of many boxing fans, especially those who had hoped to see a matchup between two of the best talents in the sport. Whether Davis is truly avoiding Stevenson or simply pursuing other interests, it has certainly stirred up frustration and disappointment in the fan base, with many wondering if boxing will once again fail to deliver the blockbuster fights fans crave.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about after this year. So them fights can still happen, but after this year, I'm out of.
Could we see you with Shakur before you go?
For what? Like, who have Shakur? What have Shakur done?
The refusal to fight Shakur Stevenson is just the latest in a long line of major boxing fights that have failed to materialize, leaving fans frustrated and disillusioned. Over the years, boxing fans have repeatedly been disappointed by the inability of promoters, fighters, and managers to make the most anticipated matchups happen. These are the fights that get fans excited, that promise high-stakes drama, intense competition, and the potential for unforgettable moments in the ring. Yet, for various reasons, politics, money, timing, or personal agendas, these bouts often remain nothing more than wishful thinking. The failure to see Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson face off in the ring is just another glaring example of how boxing's complex business dynamics and behind-the-scenes maneuvering prevent the best fighters from squaring off when the demand is at its peak.
Would you visit that again, going to 140? For Teofimo?
Yeah, I do Teofimo. Yeah. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him when I see him.
Why is that, Tank?
I'm gonna really slap the shit out of him when I see him.
Y'all take Teofimo?
Yeah.
What you think about Teofimo calling you and Crawford a great?
I just said what I said.
Do you think?
As fans, it's incredibly frustrating to watch these potentially great matchups fall apart, especially when the prospect of fireworks in the ring is so high. A showdown between Davis, with his explosive knockout power and aggressive fighting style, and Stevenson, with his brilliant technical skills and slick defense, could have been one of the most exciting and competitive fights in recent memory. But now, with Davis already looking toward retirement and unwilling to take on the challenge of Stevenson, it seems like we may never see this fight come to life. For fans who've been eagerly waiting for this bout, it's a major letdown, and it serves as a stark reminder of just how difficult it can be to make big fights happen in the world of boxing. Business interests often seem to outweigh the sport's true potential, leaving fans disappointed and wondering when they'll ever get to see the dream matchups they've been waiting for. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of this whole situation is Gervonta Davis's recent announcement that he plans to retire by the end of 2025. For many fans, this news came as a complete surprise, especially considering the incredible potential Davis still has in his career. Despite being just 30 years old, Davis has already achieved so much, from winning multiple world championships to becoming one of the most electrifying and marketable stars in boxing. His knockout power, relentless aggression, and ability to deliver thrilling performances have earned him a massive fan following and the respect of boxing insiders. Given how much he still has to offer, it's hard for many to fathom why he would want to walk away from the sport so soon, especially when there are so many exciting matchups that could define his legacy. However, Davis seems resolute in his decision, and if he sticks to his word, boxing will be losing one of its biggest and most captivating stars in just a few years. His announcement has sparked a great deal of speculation about his future, with some wondering if he'll retire on top after securing his place as one of the sport's greatest, while others are holding out hope that he'll reconsider and fight some of the top contenders still left on his radar. As boxing fans, we can only hope that Davis sticks around long enough to give us a few more memorable moments in the ring before he calls it quits. But if the fight with Shakur Stevenson is never going to happen, it's a bitter pill to swallow for those who had eagerly anticipated this electrifying matchup.
Gervonta Davis, is it just boxing beef or is it real beef?
It's kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because of like the history and like everything that went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we gotta fight. So I'm the best, he the best. So you got two guys that's the best, how can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take a L.
In the world of boxing, nothing is ever certain. The fight fans desperately want to see, Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson, may never come to fruition, leaving us with yet another what could have been in the sport's storied history. Davis's decision to retire and his refusal to face Stevenson is a bitter blow to many fans, especially those who were hoping for this thrilling showdown. However, it also serves as a stark reminder of how unpredictable boxing can be. Despite the hype, the build-up, and the potential for greatness, things can change in an instant due to business interests, personal choices, or even shifting priorities. Whether Davis sticks to his plans to retire or has a change of heart remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the landscape of boxing is ever evolving and anything can happen. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.